I'm Jon Marshall, and we're Suncoast NPI ITV, and we're coming at you now. Wow, time flies. It's another week gone, and we're back. I'm Jon Marshall. I'm with Suncoast NPI. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI, and we are Suncoast NPI TV coming at you live May 31st. Tune in, put your seatbelt on. We're going to go for a ride. Let's have a little fun today. So I can't wait. The lineup we have today is crazy. We have Mr. Rich Reiger with Trinity Insurance Consultants, and then following is with Mr. Murack with MTM Promotions. I know he has something really cool to announce to you guys, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to close out today with Mike Sutton, the president and CEO of Habitat for Humanity for Pinellas and West Pasco counties. And so we're going to dispel some of the things on the mergers. So it's a great show. Great lineup, but let's start off with a quote here. You know, I like to kind of slow down. It helps me to slow down more than anything, but think about this. Surround yourself with people that push you to do and be better. No drama, no negativity, just higher goals and higher motivation, good times and positive energy, no jealousy or hate, simply bringing out the absolute best in each other. I really wish I could say that's my quote. And I really wish I could say it's Jimmy Buffett, because I love Jimmy Buffett. We're just coming off of a Memorial Day weekend, and so there's a lot of Jimmy Buffett tunes been going on, but it's really Warren Buffett, that wise man out of Omaha. But why I wanted to start with that surround yourself quote with people that push you to do and be better, that's one of the things that I love about owning Suncoast NPI. If you guys don't know, actually I either own or am fully vested in 4 different companies, one of which is this, which I own. I also have an e-learning company. I have a health and wellness business. I have a wine business as well. But what I love about owning Suncoast NPI, we are surrounded all the time. We're full of business professionals that have an abundance mindset, that are always looking out for each other's back, that have a servant's heart and committed to the commitment to make all these chapters thrive. And we currently have 7, and I'm pretty confident in Q3 for sure. We'll have number 8 up and running. I won't say where. I think it might start with Carol, might end with Wood. But if you're interested in what you hear and your seat's not available, by all means lean out, because we'll do that one, and then we'll probably do another one in Q4 this year. But as the owner, I'm not interested in popping up these chapters. I'm interested in bringing in one absolute incredible member, one incredible rock star at what they do at a time, that has a servant's heart, committed to the commitment. And so again, going back to surrounding yourself, if you're out there, maybe you're not even in a networking group, or maybe you're like, wow, this sounds kind of crazy. Where else can you really go and be around and increase your sales force? Look at it that way. As simple as that. Think about your ROI and your ROIT. You show up to one of our breakfasts or lunches, hashtag free meal. You say that, you walk in and tell the president of these chapters, hashtag free meal, and they'll buy you breakfast or lunch, and you can come in and meet all these guys firsthand and see what they're all about. I don't know, we did over $1.8 million of cash in your pocket business last year, and it's an incredible opportunity, which I would actually say would be your smartest decision ever for 2019 to kind of lean into one of these chapters. And hey, we're in Tampa. There's a lot of networking groups. I was even talking a little bit about this last week, but I'll just go back there again. It's like there's a lot of networking groups, but I can tell you what there's not a lot of. There's not a lot of people that have that are in leadership positions that have an abundance mindset, that actually have a desire to get better and better every single day, not for themselves, but more so for the members that they serve and they lead. And I can tell you that you're looking at one right here that does that, and he's far from perfect. You know, I sin, I mess up every single day, but it's more about the abundance mindset and not playing it safe and going for it, right? If it's legal and morally acceptable, we'll do anything once to grow our business and increase the value for our members. But then it's really, then you talk about, hey, is it a lead group or is it a referrals group? I mean, we're referrals. We pass legitimate referrals. And a referral, for what we call, is a person or company who is interested in a fellow member's member's product or service and expecting his or her phone call within 24 hours and has the money to pay for it. I can tell you right now, last year we were over 15%, 50% close rate. You can't find that anywhere. So that's crazy. I have a chapter right now. They're at about 98%. They're passing business, and it's just like boop, lining it up, knocking them down. And so that's a referral, not a leads group. And then back to the seat specific, right? You come in, as like Rich Reiger, who's the president of our newest chapter, Trinity Lunch. He comes in as Trinity Insurance Consultant. So he locks out the folks in the ACH, the long-term care, and then also behind that we have Murack, who's a great member in our Dunedin breakfast meeting as well, that has the promotional seat. And so he locks out his competition, and it works. So why else would you want to do? You want to make money, right? But maybe there's some other things too. And I think we're going to lean into that a little bit today, because I think as people start to see it, once they make money, they're like, wow, there's a lot more to this. And with that said, we've been around 29 years. So, we're young and nimble, but we've been there. We're not going anywhere tomorrow. And I've had it for 5 years now. And the other things, though, just to give you an idea, to meet professionals you otherwise would not know. That's another reason or why to lean into Suncoast NPI. Another thing is increase your ability to act as a resource to your clients, family, customers, friends. And then fourth, continue your professional education and improve your public speaking and listening skills. And then finally, to give back to the other people. And so I'd like you guys to tee up in the back room, if you don't mind, our Habitat video, because I want to show that here in just a second. But one of the things we give back to the community, we're going to have Mike Sutton on here at the end of the show today. And Mike Sutton's an incredible man, has an incredible story, and is in charge and leading an incredible organization called Habitat for Humanity. And we're closing out. It's May 31st. We're closing out How May We Serve You. And that's a month where we intentionally focus on different nonprofits. That's the reason we've been bringing in New Life Solutions, Oldsmar Cares. I know we talked about Sleep in Heavenly Peace, and we just had FCA with Steve and Pat Kavanaugh with Fellowship of Christian Athletes to come on these shows to help broadcast, to help to increase their visibility and their reach. But as members, we do that year round. We do over like 15,000 hours of community service the last 2 years. That's who we are in our core. That's our DNA. That's what we're all about. We're here to make money. There's no sugarcoating that. Everybody has an ROI, and everybody must have an ROIT. And I can tell you the ROI aspect, if you don't see an ROI when you get involved in NPI, I'll stroke you a check for your membership back. Where are you going to get that? I mean, it's a no-brainer. You're going to come in and explode your business, and I'm very confident it would be the smartest decision you made in 2019. Let's talk about community. Let's roll that video. Hi, my name is Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI. We're a locally owned, seat-specific, world-class, 28-year young referral networking organization with a community look and feel. This past year, we gave over 8,000 hours of community service back into the community. We're here to make money. As an organization, we're here to make money as members, but more importantly, we're here to give back to the community and to make it a better place to live, work, and play. Hey, thanks, Jason. That you saw at the end, that was Kennard Robinson. So thanks, Jason Robinson, for putting together that piece and continuing just to make our organization shine. And just another quote, really, to kind of slow this down. Think about this, winners. Winners dream big, right? And even if our dreams do not come true, they still sustain us and catapult us to where God wants us to be. I believe God places dreams inside of us that are meant to become the language of our life and the lyrics within our hearts. Even creation is hoping we discover those dreams and live them out. So I ask you, if you're leaning in, I ask you to dream a little bit about how are you going to grow your business? How are you going to bring more resources into your household to be able to provide more for your families? What are you doing to do that? And one of the things I would encourage you to do is lean into one of our chapters. Just come check it out. It's hashtag free meal. You're going to get a free breakfast. You're going to get a free lunch, and you're going to meet 20 plus people that are going to help you to catapult your business. And that word, I love catapult. And it's going to put you on a different path that you have not felt before. I'm very confident of that. And if worst case scenario, you lean in. We're not going to put you in the back room and try to sell you a membership. We don't roll like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you a product that makes sense, and then you're going to want to lean in, and you're going to want to do more. And so I'm not else, just come do it. And no harm, no foul if you're like, you know what, it's not for me. So hashtag free meal. Let me share something else with you. This was on my mind earlier. So this comes from Proverbs 24:25, and that reads, finish your outdoor work and get your fields ready. After that, build your house. You're probably like scratching your head, like, what the heck? Why is this guy saying that? What's that have anything to do with the Suncoast NPI referral group and a TV show? Let's peel that onion back a little bit. This is one of the things I love about Proverbs. Think about this again. So finish your outdoor work and get your fields ready. After that, build your house. But think about it from this perspective. We should really carry out our work in proper order, right? So if the farmer, in this example, if a farmer builds his house in the spring, he's going to miss the planting season and go a year without food. Not a good idea, right? So let's segue this over and put a business approach to it. If a business person invests his money in a house while his business is struggling to grow, they may lose both, right? And it's also possible, think about this, it's also possible to work hard and still lose everything if the timing is wrong or the resources to carry it out are not in place. So maybe you're still scratching your head. But the reason I wanted to share this today is because I think of things right there. I think of timing and I think of resources. So again, it's possible to work hard and still lose everything if the timing is wrong or the resources to carry it out are not in place. So the timing, we're in a pretty good marketplace right now. Times are pretty good. If you're struggling, you definitely need to lean into one of these. But if you're doing well, I encourage you to lean in even further because timing, it's not always going to be like that. And that leads to the resources. You're building resources, which is human capital, additional sales force, just by getting plugged in to the Suncoast NPI. And that's going to sustain you for years and years to come. I can tell you firsthand, we have multiple members that have been part of Suncoast NPI for over 20 years. And they don't do that because they like to come to a chapter every week. They do that because they love to come every week. They do that because they know they have an ROI, and they do that because they know life is a roller coaster. So I am fired up for the show today. Hopefully I didn't come across too passionate, but I just love absolutely life and what I do. And I'm Jon Marshall. I'm Suncoast NPI. And bottom line for us is when we pull together, we all win. And coming up after me is Rich Reiger, Trinity Insurance Consultants, Mark Murack, MTM Promotions, and finally with Mike Sutton with Habitat for Humanity. Tune in. Talk to you later.
MPI.
NPI.
MPI.
NPI, Network Professionals International.
Suncoast NPI. Hi, I'm Ben Kogenauer with Mangrove Realty. I've been in real estate for over 10 years and with my company Mangrove Realty for over 8 years. Joined NPI about 3 years ago, and it's been a terrific resource for me to help me grow my business and to grow myself as a business owner.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Dittman with Brightway Insurance, the Dittman Agency, and I do property and casualty insurance. I started with NPI in 1995.
Hello, I'm Paul Friedlander. I am the account executive with Total Title Solutions. I've been involved with NPI now for just a little over a year.
My name is Sarah Shupp, and I am a banker at Synovus in Oldsmar, Florida. I have been a member of MPI for 2 years now, and I am about to start my 3rd year with them.
Hi, I'm Robert Pellini with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm a residential realtor, and I've been with NPI, Network Professionals International, for 2 years.
Suncoast NPI motivates me every week to grow my business and impact my community. I become better as a business owner every week, every meeting. I learn something new every meeting. I get something out of every meeting.
One of the biggest things that stands out to me is the family aspect of it. I'm not just going to breakfast with people that I don't know. I'm going to breakfast with people that I know, like, and trust. And I know that when I refer one of my customers of influence, that they are going to be in good hands. And it's not going to be a write-off, no call back, no show kind of thing.
Honestly, the relationships are great, but they're second to the results that you get. In fact, just this year alone, I've gone from number 8 in the office to number 1.
NPI is unique in the sense that the first time I walked into the chapter that I belong to, there were about 20 to 25 people in that chapter. Normally a small chapter, but I knew the people in there. I knew the power of the synergy that was in that room. And what that has related to over the last year is related to over $34,000 in thank you for closed business back to me.
Or every week that I meet with the friends and family that I've gotten to know, and we pass referrals. This year alone, I've closed over $40,000 in referrals from my NPI chapter.
Hi, my name is Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI. We're a locally owned, seat-specific, world-class, 28-year young referral networking organization with a community look and feel. As the owner, I'm not so much interested in the membership check. I'm interested in the member. We're here to make money as members, but more importantly, we're here to give back to the community and to make it a better place to live, work, and play.
My dad is the owner of Suncoast NPI, and as he always says, when we pull together, we all win!
Welcome back, everybody. Again, I'm Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI, and we are Suncoast NPI TV coming at you live. And I'm psyched, dude. You've been here before, Mr. Murack.
Number two.
I know you've got something down your pipe. We're going to hold off for this one because I can't wait to hear about it.
Very cool.
But I'm delighted to have you back on NPI TV. And I love the fact that you're an NPI member.
Mm-hmm.
You're amazing at what you do. I've had the privilege of using your services many times.
Right.
And you definitely have a servant's heart, and you're always committed to the commitment to make these chapters thrive. So I love you, brother. And I'm glad you're here. So let's make this all about you. All right, so
that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, baby. That's servant's heart all day long. Me. No.
I'm so humble. I got a little bit more humility in here, okay?
That's awesome. So, hey, there's some folks out here that don't know you, though.
Okay,
so,
sorry about that.
We might need to do a redo. No, I'm kidding. Let's get into this thing. Who's this guy, Mark Murack?
Well, first of all, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here again because I really do.
Pleasure.
NPI is a big part of my life. It really is, and I've seen it grow. And I've seen you grow through it too. So kudos to you, man. You're really kicking it.
I appreciate it.
And I'm proud of you.
Thanks, brother.
So who am I? Husband, father, love Christ, right? Servant leader.
Yes, Lord.
I do my
Yes, sir.
best. I do my best, right?
Yeah.
Been here in the Florida area for going on 25 years now.
Okay.
So it's about half my life. I've been down here in Florida, originally from Wisconsin. but
Wisconsin.
That's not that important. But,
Woo!
that's right. So
That's a long ways from here.
I mean, come on. Wisconsin winners, Florida winners.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's an easy one. Hello.
I hear you.
No.
Yep, you're a smart man.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
That's cool. So I know you got some businesses going down. Let's jump into MTM.
Okay.
So why don't we talk a little bit more and just to dive into MTM Promotions and what it's all about.
Well, MTM, that's my company. I love it. It really helps me to help other people.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to. And it gives me some freedom to do that.
Gotcha.
And I like to break it down into a couple easy things of how I'm helping customers, you know.
Gotcha.
I start with my why, right? You know, and I really go dive into that with them too. What is your why? And my why is helping my customers grow their business. That's
awesome.
what I want to do. And how I do that is I keep them top of mind with their prospects and their customers.
Okay.
Because we never really know when someone's going to make that buying decision.
Yep.
So it's really important that we're staying right there on the cutting edge. So when that time comes,
Right.
they're going to call you, right?
Yeah,
and then
for
how
sure.
I do that, I've got a whole bunch of tools in my tool belt that I can actually bring to bear to help them make a really smart decision on what type of promotional item they want to do, what type of marketing thing they want to do,
Right.
how they're going to get their message out to their customer. And it's cool because it's never the same.
Right.
It's always different.
Yep.
There's always cool challenges. I just love it.
Yeah, that's cool. Did you want to talk, maybe, was there an example maybe with Mr. Myers? Did you want to
Yes.
tie it into
Yes. Don Myers, NPI Dunedin chapter, came to me. He wanted some help. He's going to these different fairs, right?
Yeah.
And not like big trade shows and conventions.
Right.
He's going to these communities, 55 plus communities, because that's
Gotcha.
his demographic. Those are his customers. And so we sat down, we had a couple meetings, and I showed him a whole bunch of different things. And we narrowed it down to an item that I had done for a different customer in a different market.
Okay.
Showed it to him. He really resonated with that. So he's like, I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to use this. That thing that he's using, that item that I came up with for him, has just been crushing it for him.
That's awesome.
He's actually signed business from it.
Yep.
He's getting referrals from it. And he has people coming up to him time after time saying, I love this. I love it that it's got your logo on it. It's got your contact information on it. And it helps me to
Right.
say, Don Myers is my guy. So that's promotional items right there. That's really what it's supposed to do.
Right. Yeah, that's incredible. And I've heard him share that testimony.
Yeah.
And, and I know he's turned in thank you for closed business
Yes,
because
exactly,
of it. So,
exactly.
Huge ROI on that one. So kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
How about some market trends you see that are coming that are affecting you?
Great question. I've been in this. I've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
And so from the time I started, way long ago, they told me that print was dead. You know, digital is going to be the new norm, right? It's all going to be emails. It's all going to be websites. I've seen that rise, and digital is a very important part of your marketing mix. You have to have that. But we're oversaturated. Think about how much digital marketing comes into your being on a daily basis.
A lot.
You're driving your car, you're seeing billboards, you're listening to the radio.
Right.
You're stopping in a car, you're stopping at a light, and you're going to pick this up really quick just to check something, right? Because we don't want to text.
No.
But all that stuff, our brains are not programmed to process that much information.
Right.
We can only handle a few things at a time, so it all goes into our subconscious, and then we get overwhelmed. There has been a startling transformation from a younger generation, these millennials that are just born with these things.
Right.
They are digital natives. They were raised on it. They don't know what a magazine looks like. But interestingly enough, they're wanting to know what magazines look like. They're wanting to know what direct mail feels like. It's something for them to touch and feel. So print has its place. So digital's never going to go away. It's going to keep growing. But I think we're going to see a resurgence of print, especially in direct mail and hyper niche magazines.
Hyper niche magazines.
Like that segue?
Oh, I like that. I don't think we're there yet, but that's a great point with the millennials. I actually run a print is something new to them. It's like that's interesting. How about some things that like motivate you and get you fired up and that you want to share that maybe as encouragement or nuggets for people out there?
Right. I think primarily I love connecting people. I love connecting communities together.
Yeah.
Helping them to see what's out there, and because I live in a subdivision. I have neighbors. I know their names because I go out of my way to learn them. We have a dog, we walk our dogs, and we kind of learn about the community.
Right.
But it's hard. You go into your home, you close your doors, and you're not in a community, right? We're all living our lives. I love it that you can really bring together people and show them the best parts of a community. So, for instance, in the connecting part of it, in MPI, this is really something I got to give you kudos off because it's really taught me about the power of network marketing and referral marketing.
Right.
And I didn't do that before I joined MPI. I really didn't. I was more of a traditional guy, right? Send out the emails, make the phone calls, go visit your customers. But I think there's so much power in referral marketing. And this has happened to me just last week. I was reaching out to an attorney. Right. And I was approaching him about a business opportunity. It didn't make sense for him. But we hit it off. He's from Wisconsin, I'm from Wisconsin.
There
right?
you go.
So we had some commonality there. We had a great conversation, and I'm going to have lunch with him in a couple weeks. But I said, man, I got to hook you up with some of my people because I think there's going to be some good synergy there. So I put that in my back pocket. 2 days later, I meet with another professional financial advisor.
Right.
He had a very unique way of going to market that I never heard about. And he's of the faith, right?
Absolutely.
Great, man of Christ. And I go, wait a second. I got to connect these two guys.
That's perfect.
I did it. They both thanked me. They're both going to be meeting, and hopefully there's going to be something pops of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Take that a little bit further. Took some people from our chapter.
Yeah.
Connected them to both of those people. So it just kind of works upon itself, and I really dig that. I don't know if it's that dopamine or whatever that is that it flows through my veins when I do that, but I just love it.
That's awesome.
I also love helping customers win. I love it when Don Myers comes up to me and says, "Mark, that thing was great," and he stands up in front of everybody and says, use Mark.
Right.
It's not a pride thing. It's just more like, hey, I helped somebody. I love doing that.
Gotcha. Hey, I know we want to spend some time on this thing because you mentioned Hyper Niche Magazine, and I know you have something new and cool that's coming out.
Right.
And we got about 3.5 minutes.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah, so I want to drill into that. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go in this because I know this is way cool.
I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. So
still take your time because we'll get the message out.
No, we will. About a couple months ago, decided to launch a community magazine. So it's something that I put out there, right? It was one of my goals. I made it public. And I'm very excited about the opportunity to bring this to my market, the place that I live. Okay, so the company that's behind it is called Decided Excellence Catholic Media. So it's a faith-based magazine, very family-friendly. It's going to be mailed to homes in North Pinellas.
Okay.
So the Safety Harbor Countryside Clearwater Market, a big swath of North Pinellas, I'm going to be publishing and mailing out a magazine that's going to be kept in the homes and shared with the family members. And it's just going to be a great thing that I'm going to be able to give back to.
That's really cool. So tell us more. I mean, let's go into this thing. I
Well,
want to hear some more about
you
this.
think about it, right? We just talked a little bit about digital marketing, right?
Yep.
And the whole rise of social media and that. This is social media in print form, if you really think about it, right? So I'm going to be connecting community together.
Right.
Because there's a lot of things that are happening. We're
Right.
really busy, right? If I can share with you by putting something that's very family friendly and
Yep.
nice and warm with rich content into your homes every month, and I can share with you what's going on in the community. Here's the context for the local parishes. Maybe you want to think about going back to church besides Christmas and Easter.
Right.
Unfortunately, something that happens, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Or here's a great story about a family in the community.
Right.
So every magazine is going to have a family that's going to be featured on the cover.
Right.
There's going to be a great article about that family inside the magazine. That's what's going to get that magazine open. That's what's going to get it
cool.
read. It's going to be shared with people in the house. So I'm very excited about it. I get a little bit, talk a little fast about
No,
it because I think it's something that's going to be my passion.
And I think you should. I mean, and even one of the things, Mark, that we talked about the other day that resonated with me when you talked about it was like, hey, family friendly in your homes, right? I shield my kids' eyes when when the news comes on,
Yes.
right? And it's like all that. You want the home to be a safe environment, right? And I think this sounds like it could be a very positive contribution to that.
Right. And you think about it too. You hit on something right there that I want to talk about a little bit more. Advertising. We all need to get our word out there. We all got to start top of mind, right? So there's lots of avenues out there. You can do TV, you can do radio, you can do print advertising. This is a hyper niche magazine. It's going to go to a very specific demographic, right? And you can control how your ad is saw and
Gotcha.
how it's actually being saw in the magazine, right? And read. Let's just say you advertise on Bay News 9. Nothing against Bay News 9. They're a great organization, but what do they lead with typically? The fire, the car accident, right?
Absolutely.
The fear sells, right?
If it bleeds, it reads.
If it bleeds, it reads. And all of a sudden they start off the hour with that, and then there's the advertisement for the plumber.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not his fault.
Yeah.
But
Right.
there's subconsciously we're going to associate that person's logo with fire. Something bad that happened.
Yeah.
I never want that to happen with my advertisers. They're always going to be really portrayed in a great light. There's opportunities for rock star sponsors to give back to the magazine. They can do content marketing.
It's okay. Slow down. We got some time. We're gonna add on a little bit to
I
you.
get a little
'cause,
excited about it.
You got some time here, brother. So I'll give you some extra time because I want you to get this point out. I think this is important.
Okay. Yeah.
So
no problem.
so what is it that you're looking for?
I really am looking for rock stars. You say that all the time in MPI. I'm looking for people that have the heart of a teacher.
There you go.
That want to give back, right? Because think about it. The guy that was on before me, Trinity Insurance.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I was impressed. I love the way that he was talking about his services, not as a product,
Right.
but as an educational tool that he can help people. Hey, you got to get in early.
Right.
Here's what's going to happen if you don't. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that are willing to give back to the community, that really want to get inside of the community.
That's cool.
I'm going to put their ad on 3,000 coffee tables
There you go.
in North Pinellas, and it's going to be something that they're going to be proud to be associated with.
That's cool. Is there any last thing to close this out other than a quote?
There's a couple of things that you want to think about. This is advertising, but it's more, you want to think about it more as sponsorship, right?
Okay.
The banner on the Little League fence.
Sure.
The logo on the Race for the Cure t-shirt,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
Who did it the best? Red Bull. They sponsored all those ski runs and those
Right.
skating parks, right? And they gave the winner a Red Bull. So then we associated that with our subconscious brain that Red Bull winners, right?
Yeah.
Now, who was it? Baumgarten, the guy that jumped out of that big
Yeah.
umbrella?
Yeah.
That big, that balloon way up in space? Red Bull logo. And then I just saw
Got
a
it.
couple months ago, Lindsey Vonn. She became the oldest downhill champion in the World Downhill Ski Championships. What was on her hat, on the logo?
Red Bull.
Red Bull. No kidding, right? So
Hey.
she's a winner at any age. Well, now soccer moms drink Red Bull. Everybody drinks Red Bull. That was a real success, but it's a sponsorship. That's the whole
Gotcha.
thought process.
That's
And then
cool.
it's branding as well. We talk about branding. We have to get out there and associate ourselves with something that we believe in.
Right.
And the company that did the best was 5 Hour Energy. 5 Hour Energy took their limited marketing dollars when they were a small company, and they took a big gamble on something you might not think about. They invested all their marketing dollars into NASCAR.
Okay.
Think about NASCAR, right? All those cars with all the Kellogg's and the
Right.
stuff. It used to be cigarettes and beer. Now it's all family-friendly things.
Gotcha.
They took that thing and rode it, but it didn't happen overnight.
That's cool.
It took months and months and months, but then they got a huge response, and they turned into $1 billion company.
That's amazing. And I'm getting screamed at in the ear because
Okay.
we like beyond over. I
No
think they like gave up. So,
Sorry, guys.
But no, I wanted to get that message out, and we'll figure out how to make it work. So let's close with a quote and say thanks.
Yeah, one of my quotes, and I'm glad you asked that, was from Teddy Roosevelt, one of our great presidents of the United States of America. And he says, do what you can with what you have where you're at. And I think that's important because it's never going to be right. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to have enough money or
Even like the timing on the show, right, guys?
You're never going to have enough time on the shows, and someone's just going to be pushing it. But you got to do it. You have to have the will to overcome. That really works in sales, too.
Mark Murack, love you, man.
Hey, thank you
Check out
very
his
much, John. I
magazine,
appreciate
everybody.
it.
Hey, I'm Jon Marshall, Suncoast NPI, and we are Suncoast NPI ITV. And I'm delighted to have this man sitting across from me. Like we always say, there are our members, and I say as the owner, you know, I am so much more interested in the member than the membership check, because we're looking to build out the elite networking referral organization in the Tampa Bay area. So we're always looking for people that are actually truly rock stars at what they do, that have a servant's heart, that are committed to the commitment to make these chapters thrive. And Rich Reiger, that's you all day long, sir. And I'm excited. You're president of our newest chapter, and you're a delight to be around. Your Jersey, I think we can speak the same language because we both had Jersey in our blood. And but this time, Rich, is all about you, sir. So thanks for leaning in and coming and checking out Suncoast NPI TV.
Well, absolutely. I've had the good fortune of being in this chair a couple times before with John Gaston from Tampa Bay Multimedia.
Yep.
Normally, he makes my chair as high as yours, but for some reason today, that didn't happen. But no, seriously, rock star, no. Servant, yes. I'm absolutely a servant. So it's good to be here with you, John. It's good to be working with NPI. I enjoy it. We've got a great group of people, and I'm sure we're going to grow.
Yeah, I'm very confident in that. And I have to say, I'm guilty of the chair. I think it's probably the Napoleon complex in me. I asked him to raise it higher, so I'd just be a couple inches higher than everybody. So that's on me.
Well, enjoy
I'm just
it.
being transparent.
Enjoy it, because when the meeting starts on Wednesday, I'm going to be a little bit higher.
That's fair, because you run that ship, not me.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Not a problem.
So Rich Reiger, Trinity Insurance Consultants, why don't we drill in a little bit? Why don't you tell, I mean, John has a huge audience out there. Why don't you just tell a little bit, some nuggets about you and what makes you tick? We're talking offline a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, I am a pretty well networked guy here in Pinellas, Pasco County, but I view myself as being first and foremost a servant.
Right.
As you know, I'm a pretty faithful Christian guy. You are also.
Amen to that, sir.
Yeah, I'm a warrior for Jesus, and actually Trinity Insurance is not as much a business as it is a ministry, but I'll get into that in a little while. I am again, servant, single father. My son graduated from Eastlake High School last night.
Yep.
And is headed, thank God, to West Point, the United States Military Academy. Not a lot of people get into that school.
No.
And we're really fortunate that Christian is going to be going and serving our country and also becoming a leader. They build and make leaders there, and I'm really happy about that. I do a lot of volunteer.
Congratulations, Rich.
Thank you.
I mean, that's awesome.
I don't want to be prideful because, but I am so proud of him. I couldn't tell you. I mean, my heart just thumps about the whole thing.
That's amazing.
I do a lot of volunteer work. I've been in the a co-chairman of Real Men Wear Pink for the American Cancer Society.
Okay. Yep.
They're a great organization, and we're trying to solve the old mystery of breast cancer. And I get all the business guys that I know involved with it, and we support that. That'll be happening in September.
Okay.
I also support an organization called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. It is an organization run by two people, at least the Pinellas chapter, who are out of my church, the chapel. And what we do is we build beds for young children. And so that no young kid in Pasco or Pinellas County has to sleep on the floor. And the Bakers are wonderful people, and I'm involved doing some funding for that, and I'm really happy. I'm also involved with Tres Dias, which is a 3-day weekend retreat to help bring young men and older men to Christ, and I'm involved in that. We just had our spring retreat meeting, and we got 20 guys that we bring over into our world, or back to our world, and let them know that they're saved. I also am part of a reunion group that makes Saturday mornings from 7:30 to 9 o'clock over at the Starbucks on 54 and 589. So I'm a pretty busy guy besides the business aspect of my life.
Yeah, and I just got some nuggets from you, Mr. Reiger, that I wasn't aware of, and I just had the privilege of meeting Mr. Jim Baker in the last month.
Really?
And we did at our church at Harborside. They were one of 20 plus organizations that came in. I got to work firsthand with his organization, and I'm hoping he's going to be on the show. I actually offered the invite for him as just an offer for how may we serve you, for him to help get his message out there even more.
Jim and Ann Baker are wonderful people, and they give back so much to the community.
I had never even heard of them in that organization, and it was incredible experience, not only for me, but for my wife. And my two kids are 14, 12. My 14-year-old is going to be in Eastlake next year.
Oh, great.
And but thank you for sharing that. And Trace Diaz, I want to take that offline and learn a little bit more about that.
Sure.
But that's awesome. So thank you.
You're more than welcome.
I knew you were a man of the Lord. I knew you had a servant's heart. But man, you even had more than I thought. Amen, brother. Keep it going.
Well, I believe that that's the reason why we're here. We're not here for self. We're here for serving. So spend a minute on Trinity.
Let's talk.
Trinity Insurance Consultants. Most of my life has been spent in the corporate world. I worked for 30 years for a large organization called Automatic Data Processing, ADP.
Yep.
You see them more now on the business channels because they've gotten really big. I started with them when they were $50 million big and left when they were $10 billion big. So I saw a lot of change, got to manage and lead a lot of different opportunities.
Right.
You don't miss someone's payroll. Payroll's got to be there on time, and it's got to be accurate, right?
Absolutely.
So that also helps me in my business because you cannot write a policy for either health, Medicare, life, disability, long-term care. You can't make errors, and it's got to be there at the right time before anything happens. My logo includes "You're never more insurable than you are today."
I love it.
Well, if I told you how many times in the insurance business over the last 7 years that people wind up or become uninsurable before they are insured, it's too late at that point. Long-term care is a very expensive process if you have to use it. It costs about $300,000. There's a lot of numbers behind it. Right. If anybody's interested, you can give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about it. Medicare, once you turn 65, you're going to spend anywhere about $96,000 on average for your health. If you're a guy, and if you're a woman, you're going to spend $122,000. Right. So I really focus on making sure that these seniors are put in the right plans at the right time because not that many people can afford those kind of numbers. And you can go bankrupt very easily, okay, on your health insurance. I'm involved with the Affordable Care Act, maybe not the best thing that ever happened to healthcare, but if you have a pre-existing condition, then I'm going to put you in that and you're going to be covered. Right. If you don't have a pre-existing condition, there are things like MediShare, which is a Christian organization that does healthcare sharing, which is a lot cheaper alternative. Still great stuff. It's not called insurance. It's called healthcare sharing. And there's also a short-term plan that you can get in for up to 2 years to help you cover your healthcare costs. So I do everything that I possibly can to help the clients come my way. Again, I view it more as a ministry than I do as a business because that's how I bring the Lord into the workplace, is by trying to help people and save them money.
That's awesome. And, kudos to you. Kudos to you, Mr. Richard. I'm glad you're here. And, talking about differentiating you and your company within the marketplace, it oozes out of you.
Yeah.
It oozes out of you, Rich.
Yeah,
it really does.
People get people don't want to talk. You bring up an insurance salesman, people don't want to talk to an insurance salesman because they're afraid he's going to spend all their money. My job is to make sure that you are not in a position where you are risking your finances or your family's finances. So being in the right health program, being in the right long-term care or some kind of disability scenario is really important. And I also do a bit of retirement planning because I can with my license, putting people in really safe, conservative fixed annuities. And as you know, we have some great folks that are financial planners in our business. And we attack it at a multi-pronged approach that, if I can't do it, let me get somebody in who can help them. Chris called me last night. I'm going to meet him at 5:30. Chris is our financial planner in our group. I'm going to meet him at 5:30 next Thursday and help out a client. So my business and I differentiate myself primarily on just trying to serve as opposed to try to make a ton of money.
Yeah, no, and it's obvious. Every time I get to know you, a little more interaction, it draws me even that much closer to you. So hopefully people out there are listening and you're drawing near to him. This is a great man here. So we have a couple minutes, Rich. I'm not even sucking up. I'm not.
I know. It's what I do.
That's very cool. So we have a couple minutes left. We want to share maybe a famous quote or inspiration that kind of sticks out to you?
Well, yeah, I will say the quote that I use on a regular basis is, "You're never more insurable than you are today." Now, let me tell you where I got that quote. I got it from the lady that I worked for when I first got into the insurance business. She still owes me $6,000, in commissions. But it really rang true to me because in my dealings with people who are looking for insurance, I've gotten conversations where the wife said, "No, let's just do my husband the breadwinner and the kids, leave me out of it." And then I get a phone call 6 months later, I'm in Tampa General and I've got leukemia. What can you do for me? Well, she became uninsurable. Long-term care, if we don't make it happen, all insurance, the sooner you buy it, the earlier you're in the game, the less expensive it is. So if I've got clients down in East Lake Woodlands who, the guy went from a supplement plan to a Medicare Advantage plan, and he wound up having a stroke and he had to go in a nursing home. It's extremely expensive. So the sooner I can help you, the better off you're going to be. So I'm going to stick with, you're never more insurable than you are today.
Well, I love it. And just so you guys know, this is Rich Reiger, Trinity Insurance Consultants, and he's the president of our newest chapter at Johnny Brusco's. Come see him. Jon Marshall, Suncoast NPI, thanks for viewing.
MPI.
NPI.
MPI.
NPI, Network Professionals International.
Suncoast NPI. Hi, I'm Ben Kogenauer with Mangrove Realty. I've been in real estate for over 10 years and with my company Mangrove Realty for over 8 years. Joined NPI about 3 years ago, and it's been a terrific resource for me to help me grow my business and to grow myself as a business owner.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Dittman with Brightway Insurance, the Dittman Agency, and I do property and casualty insurance. I started with MPI in 1995.
Hello, I'm Paul Friedlander. I am the account executive with Total Title Solutions. I've been involved with NPI now for just a little over a year.
My name is Sarah Shupp, and I am a banker at Synovus in Oldsmar, Florida. I have been a member of MPI for 2 years now, and I am about to start my 3rd year with them.
Hi, I'm Robert Pellini with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm a residential realtor, and I've been with NPI, Network Professionals International, for 2 years.
Suncoast NPI motivates me every week to grow my business and impact my community. I become better as a business owner every week, every meeting. I learn something new every meeting. I get something out of every meeting.
One of the biggest things that stands out to me is the family aspect of it. I'm not just going to breakfast with people that I don't know. I'm going to breakfast with people that I know, like, and trust. And I know that when I refer one of my customers of influence, that they are going to be in good hands. And it's not going to be a write-off, no call back, no show kind of thing.
Honestly, the relationships are great, but they're second to the results that you get. In fact, just this year alone, I've gone from number 8 in the office to number 1.
NPI is unique in the sense that the first time I walked into the chapter that I belong to, there were about 20 to 25 people in that chapter. Normally a small chapter, but I knew the people in there. I knew the power of the synergy that was in that room, and what that has related to over the last year has related to over $34,000 in thank you for closed business back to me.
Or every week that I meet with the friends and family that I've gotten to know, and we pass referrals. This year alone, I've closed over $40,000 in referrals from my NPI chapter.
Hi, my name is Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI. We're a locally owned, seat-specific, world-class, 28-year young referral networking organization with a community look and feel. As the owner, I'm not so much interested in the membership check. I'm interested in the member. We're here to make money as members, but more importantly, we're here to give back to the community to make it a better place to live, work, and play.
My dad is the owner of Suncoast NPI, and as he always says, when we pull together, we all win!
Welcome back, everybody. Again, my name is Jon Marshall. I'm the owner of Suncoast NPI, and we are Suncoast NPI ITV coming at you live. And I can't be more delighted in how we're going to close out the set today and actually close out the month. And so the month for Suncoast NPI is How May We Serve You? And if you don't know this, Mike, we've actually, as an organization, have given 15,000 hours of community service back into the community, and Habitat Humanity is part of that. And but this time is all about you, and we're all about spotlighting one of the nonprofits that's out there, and we're delighted to have you.
Yeah,
and so
thanks for having me.
It's awesome to get to know you, Mr. Mike Sutton, President,
awesome.
CEO, Habitat. So you're not President Carter, but you're pretty close, right?
No, not even. Not even close. Not even close.
So
He's a great man, though.
Yeah, I would love to meet him. So maybe we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
But this time is for you and your organization, Mike. So we're broadcasting out to hundreds of thousands out here, and I'm getting to know you. But let's tell everybody, who are you? Tell me more about you, Mr. Mike.
Sure,
Sutton.
sure. So originally from the Tampa Bay area.
Okay.
So grew up in North Tampa. Went to University of South Florida. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
And have spent my entire career in the nonprofit sector.
Wow.
So started with Habitat for Humanity out in Texas, worked for the YMCA for a number of years in Tampa.
Okay.
Did a 5-year stint with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Awesome.
And then I've been in this role with Habitat for about 5 years now. So
Gotcha.
the organization is just great. So the fact that I was able to work for a Habitat affiliate out in Texas and then come back home to the Tampa Bay region is just been an amazing experience.
That's awesome, Mike. I appreciate you sharing that. And I think a lot of people don't really know the history. I know one of the things we want to make sure is get to enunciate the history and a little bit more some of the myths that are going on with this major merger that's gone down. But let's just start with let's just tell me and the audience more about the company. Let's start with Habitat.
So you mentioned President Carter. So
Yes,
that's typically one of the biggest misconceptions. People think he started the organization or maybe even runs it.
Right.
But he's just been a longtime volunteer of ours.
That's amazing.
Been very supportive. Really helped put Habitat on the map. But Habitat's about 45 years old.
Okay.
It's a global company, global organization. We're in 70 plus countries around the world.
Wow.
We're in 1,240 markets throughout the United States.
Okay.
And so here in Pinellas and West Pasco counties, we recently went through a merger. Both organizations had been operating for about 30 years independently from each other.
Okay.
There's a lot of synergy between the counties. There's a lot of people that live in Pasco and drive into Pinellas, and there's a lot of people that live in Pinellas and drive into Pasco.
Right.
And so we felt there was some great synergy there, great opportunity to really figure out how can we serve more families.
Okay.
And so the premise behind Habitat is we provide families the opportunity to own their own home. And basically the only difference between Habitat and a regular mortgage provider out there is that our families receive a zero interest mortgage. And so the families go through a series of 20 home buyer education classes.
Wow.
They also complete what we call sweat equity hours.
Yep.
So they put in 350 to 450 sweat equity hours, working alongside volunteers as well as other homeowners on the work site. And then they purchase the home from Habitat with a zero interest mortgage.
Okay.
So that's what keeps the home affordable. You know, we're living in a community where affordable housing is just it truly is a huge need,
Right.
and we're in an affordable housing crisis right now.
Absolutely.
And so Habitat, that's one way that we're able to help chip away at that crisis is providing these zero interest loans to families.
amazing.
And then those mortgage payments go into helping to build more homes. So, so these homeowners are tax paying citizens. They're getting more engaged in their community. They're becoming active in, whether it's maybe voting for the first time or just becoming, advancing their life, basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really neat program.
It's so cool. And then even like the opportunity. I love that word, the opportunity to own.
Yeah. Well, it's really on them. I mean, at the end of the day, the homeowners that come to us are motivated and driven to improve their life.
Right.
And for a low-income family, there's no better way to build generational wealth than through home ownership. And so that's exactly what Habitat does, is it provides that opportunity for these families.
That's incredible, Mike, and thanks for spelling that out. Even for me, starting with President Carter and just him being a longtime volunteer. That's way.
Well, most
awesome.
people think that we give away homes for free, and that's about as far from the truth as you can get. I mean, these are some hardworking families.
Right.
They have to show steady employment. They have to show that they have income. And there are a lot of folks that we come in contact with on a regular basis. They may be, the clerk at the school where you drop your kids off in the office, or they could be the front desk person at a bank. They're people that we come in contact with on a regular basis, but they're stuck. They can't receive funding from the government to help offset some of their costs of living, but yet they don't make enough to receive a traditional mortgage.
Right.
So Habitat's kind of that sweet spot for them.
Yeah, that's cool. And even like you mentioned the sweat equity. You said go Bulls. I had a Florida State shirt on earlier. I don't know what happened to it, but 350, 450 hours. I mean, that's 6 to 8 months worth of work on an 8-hour work week. Eight-hour day.
A typical family takes about 12 months to get through our program.
That's incredible, and all these classes as well. So very, very, very cool and very enlightening for me and hopefully for the viewers out there as well. How about let's go into the differentiation. So what's some of the things that differentiates you guys really from whatever else that's going on out into the marketplace?
I think at the end of the day, a lot of it is really that opportunity to own their own home. We consider ourselves a hand up, not a handout. And so, there's a lot of great charities out there, a lot of amazing organizations. You have a ton of them on your show. But with Habitat, I think people that support us can feel rest assured that every dollar they're giving, every hour they're volunteering with us is truly helping someone that's helping themselves.
Gotcha.
And that's the piece to me that's just such a draw. It's why I came back to Habitat for Humanity after working for another Habitat for 5 years, and it's what keeps us motivated, it keeps us going, and it keeps people engaged in the work that we do.
Yeah, it's great. Hand up, not a handout.
Exactly.
Love it. So, what kind of really fires you up? What motivates you, Mike?
Yeah, it's a great question. Really, I think at the end of the day, it's working with the families that we serve. Again, they're hardworking people that are just trying to get ahead. And in the regular, hustle and bustle of every day, sometimes that's tough. We see 75% of the families we serve are single moms.
Yeah.
They're raising a number of kids. They're, sometimes going back to school to better their education.
Sure.
And then they're trying to put in sweat equity hours and go through the classes with the Habitat program. So seeing the determination and how hard they work, makes me and makes the team at Habitat work that much harder. It definitely keeps us going.
That's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that wisdom right there. And so with your organization, I want to know this because I deal with this on my own. It's like, how do you keep your employees and actually even team members, even volunteers, how do you keep them motivated and fired up, leaning all in?
Yeah.
You have some nuggets you want to share on that?
Yeah, one of the things that we do that really keeps people fired up about the work that we're doing on a regular basis is our home dedications. And if you've never been one, you need to come out and join us for one.
I would love to.
They're 15, 20 minutes in length, and it'll be the best 15 to 20 minutes of your day. We introduce the family, they receive the keys to their home, and it's an emotional experience. You got to bring some tissues or wear sunglasses.
Yes, sir.
But it's such a tangible feeling of seeing like, okay, this family's worked this hard. You also see the volunteers come out and support it, and you see the donors come out and see their dollars in action. It's kind of what keeps the the train running down the tracks.
That's way cool. Yeah, so it's an encouragement to get them out there
Oh,
to come,
for sure.
for them to see it as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I haven't seen that. I'd like to take you up on that.
Yeah, come on out.
Yeah, so we have a few more minutes. Time
Yeah.
flies when we're crushing it with
Hey, man.
killer content like you, bringing it. So what are some of your goals kind of leaning up or, and even with the merger and everything?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, well, and that's probably, the overarching goal for us as an organization is, how do we continue to serve families that we do in Pinellas County? We've built a very strong program in Pinellas, building over the last 3 years on average about 60 homes a year.
Okay.
How do we replicate some of the work that we've done there and the infrastructure we've built in Pinellas in West Pasco? And so that's really where we're spending our time right now. We've invested in some staff to bring folks on to advance our mission in Pasco County.
Awesome.
And really at the end of the day, the overarching goal of the two organizations coming together was how do we serve more families? Again, back to that great need for affordable housing. That's been the driving force. That's what's kept us focused. And so really, the goal over the next couple of years is to scale up the work that we're doing in Pasco County to mirror the work that we're doing in Pinellas.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have numbers out there for projections that you're comfortable sharing? Or?
Well, it depends on who you talk to on my board. Some of my board members are constantly, they're driven folks.
Yeah,
so,
I bet.
It's all about, how many homes can we build, right? We want to continue to maintain the work that we're doing in Pinellas.
agreed.
So building anywhere from 50 to 60 homes a year in the most densely populated county in the
Crazy
state.
dense. Yep.
And then if we can get to a point in Pasco County where we're building, 10 homes a year and grow that over time to get up into the 20s, I think we would feel really, really good about the work that we're doing.
That's amazing. And if you boil it back to one amazing home dedication at a time.
Yep,
it's
exactly.
a win, right?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
So we're gonna wrap up here like another minute or so.
Yeah.
How about you want to share some professional advice you've actually received?
I've been blessed in my life to have people that have invested in me and have been leaders in the community that have kind of taken me in. They've held me accountable too. That's good. That component is really, really
Absolutely.
important. I think one of the words of advice that I got from a mentor of mine was, actions speak louder than words and performance doesn't need to speak at all. And that's something that I try to do with everything I do, right? People will notice the work that we're doing, but we don't have to go out and beat our chests and, and share that and be arrogant or be cocky about it, right? Really, at the end of the day, it's how do we spread the word of Habitat and the work that we're doing? That's something that's always stuck with me. The other thing that's always stuck with me is being on time. And
being on time.
my very first boss actually I showed up 2 minutes late to a meeting, and he pulled me aside and said, "If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you ever show up late again, just don't bother coming." and I'll never forget that. And I don't think I've ever been late to anything since.
You were early here today.
I was here.
And speaking of time, we are way out of time. And this is Mike Sutton. He's the president and CEO of Habitat Humanity of Pinellas and West Pasco counties. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Thanks for having me. This has been great.